So I have 3 triangles. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out the corners or angles of each of these. Okay. And what I'm going to do is, this is kind of like a jigsaw puzzle. I'm going to connect these like so. Oops. There's that one. And this one. And in total, how many degrees were all 3 of those angles? 180. Okay. So let's try with this one. Okay. Maybe this one this way. And this one wasn't cut too well. But we get the idea. It's another 180 that way. And we got this acute triangle. And these 3 as well, all the corners form 180 degrees. So all the angles basically add up to 180 degrees. And that's known as the triangle sum theorem. So that's what we're going to talk about today, the triangle sum theorem. And here it is. Kaylee, can you read the triangle sum theorem, please?
Triangle sum theorem. The interior angles of a triangle have a sum of 180 degrees.
That's it. No matter what type, as long as it's a triangle, acute, obtuse, scalene, whatever type, it adds up to 180 degrees. So this is an example. If we add up the measurement of angle A plus the measurement of angle B plus the measurement of angle C, it's going to be 180 degrees. And we're going to use it today, and then we're going to have a variation of it tomorrow when we talk about exterior angles. But just remember, they all add up to 180 degrees. So we're going to find the measure of missing angles. So let's say I call this unknown angle x degrees. So go ahead and label that x degrees, please. Let's set up an equation to figure out x, because I want to steer us towards equations. So using the triangle sum theorem, if I add up all of these angles, what would they make? So what could the equation be?
It could be 82 plus 55 plus 8x equals 180.
Exactly. All right. I know we can probably do this in our heads and whatnot, but eventually we're going to get to some things that we won't be able to. So I want to steer us towards setting up an equation first. All right. Well, let's add up 82 plus 55. What's that? 137. Yeah, that's going to be 137 plus x equals 180. And let's get rid of that 137 so we need to figure out the missing angle. Yeah. So this missing angle is actually 43 degrees. Okay. Good job. Let's try this one. They don't give us a picture, but we can figure it out. It says two angles in a triangle measure 32 degrees and 68 degrees. What is the measure of the third angle? So first of all, let's say the third angle is x degrees. So we have 32 degrees plus 68 degrees plus x. And since they're all angles inside of a triangle, they have to add up to 180. All right, I'll let you finish it up. Let's figure out what that missing angle is. Yesenia, what did you get? Okay, let me make sure you work on it. Julian, what did you get? Who else got 100? I think that's it. Um, these two together make up 100. Is that what you said? Okay. So that's 100 plus x equals 180. But we still have to figure out x. What's x going to be? 80, yeah. So the 100 was right here. But you still have to subtract the 100 from 180 to get the final, which is 80. All right. Abraham, can you read number 3 for us?
The right triangle has one angle that measures 26 degrees. What is the measure of the other
Okay. How would we do this one?
No, you know that since it's a right triangle, one of the angles is supposed to be 90 degrees.
Yeah, I'm going to draw this one. So let's all draw a right triangle. And one of these angles is 26 degrees. What's the measure of the other one? Well, let's make it x as well. We'll say it's x degrees. And Kaylee, you told us this is 90. So we got 26, 90, and x is 180. All right. So if we add 26 and 90, that's 116. Okay. And let's subtract away the 116. Well, I'll say 64 probably, right? 64. I know what you meant though. It was 64. So our missing other angle is 64 degrees. Okay. So I think you guys are ready for a bit of a challenge. Okay, here it is. Take a look at this question. Excuse me. An isosceles triangle has an angle that measures 30 degrees. So all they're telling us is it measures 30 degrees. What measures are possible for the two angles? So there's going to be probably, and there are, more than one right answer. So first of all, what's an isosceles triangle? Yeah, the pennants. All the pennants are isosceles. Isosceles triangles have two congruent sides. So something like my pennant, let's draw one. It has two congruent sides. Something like that. Okay? So if we have this, let's say this is the 30-degree angle. Well, does that make sense? 30 plus 30 plus 30 would only be 90, so it can't. So these angles, you know what's unique about these two? We call them base angles. They're the angles down here. They're congruent to each other. They measure the same. Did you know that? Well, now you do. These are equal to each other, okay? So since we don't know them, what do we have to call them right now? What can I call these measurements right now if I don't know what they are? X. Okay, so right now they're called X. So let's add this up. We've got 30 plus X equals 180. Okay. What can I do? How can I solve this?
You can eliminate all of those that are possible because 120
Well, I'm saying by solving. Yes. Okay. Because this is 2x, right? If I combine these, I get 2x. And you're right. We're eventually going to divide that by 2. I just want to make sure everyone sees why we divide by 2. Okay. Subtract 30. So we get 2x equals 150. And divide that by 2, what do we get? All right. So 75 would work. Anything else? Well, I said there's more than one type right answer. And there is. And it has to do with the type of isosceles. So this one had our vertex, this point here, as 30. Can we have the base angles as 30? Yeah. Think about something like this. That's an isosceles triangle. These two sides are equal, so it's isosceles. This is 30, and this is 30. So now, this is our x. How would we figure out that one? Set it up. Set up an equation. Let's try it. What would the equation be?
30 plus 30 plus x equals 180.
Okay. Okay. So that would be 60, because 30 plus 30 is 60, plus x is 180. And then let's get rid of the 60. X equals, all right, so let's look at all the possible angles we got. We got 75, which we took care of. Do we have 120? All right, anything else? Any other angle measurement we missed? How about 30? Isn't 30 one of the angles that was possible? So there you go. The angles were 120, 30, and 75. But you had to look at both possibilities, right? When you had an acute angle, the one that's 30 is here, or when the 30 degrees are the two that are congruent. Okay. So you got to remember, on an isosceles triangle, the base angles, angles at the bottom, are the same measurement. They're equal to each other. Okay. Any questions? All right. Last question. How would we find the measurement of this one? Let's say we want to find the measurements. We know one of the measurements, though. Which measurement do we know? 90. This is 90. Let's label this. Let's call it A, B, C. Okay? And that'll be helpful in a little bit. How can we figure out the measurement of each of these angles, angle A and C? You got to figure out what x is, yeah. Can we make an equation? Sure we can. We can say 2x plus 1 plus, what else can I add to it? 90. We can always add 90 plus whatever angle C is, 5x plus 5. Equals 180. It always adds up to 180. So now we really have to use our order of operations and everything we learned about combining these. So we can combine 2x with 5x because the coefficients go together. What else can we combine?
1 plus 90.
Yeah, let's do that. So we got 1 plus 90 plus 5. So that's going to be 96. Okay, so let's write that down. 7x plus 96 equals 180. Okay? So let's take away. Excuse me. Subtract 96, please. And what's that going to give me? What do I have on the left side? 7x equals, what do I have on the other side? 84. Okay, let's divide out the 7. What is x going to be? How much? So we figured out x. Is that what we wanted? Well, that's getting us there, but it's not quite complete. We want the measure of each angle. But it's going to get us there. Because now we know x in each of our expressions is 12. So let's start with angle A. Measurement of angle A. It's 2x plus 1. But instead of x, what am I going to write? X is how much? 12. So it's 2 times 12 plus 1. So that's 25. So now I just figured out the measurement of angle A. 25 degrees. Let's figure out the measurement of angle B. Well, the expression is 5x plus 5. Huh? Oh, C. I'm sorry. Well, let's write this one. You're right. I was just going in order, I guess. So it's going to be 5 times 12 plus 5. Or we could just subtract that from 90. But this could prove it as well. What's 5 times 12? And so adding 5 would give us 65. So there you go. 25, 90, and 65 degrees. Okay? So we have an assignment on IXL where we're going to practice using the triangle sum theorem.